Hello and welcome. I'm Jarvis. In this lesson, we'll take the exciting first steps into building with SQL Server, creating your first database and the tables within it. Let's get started. By the end of this 20-minute session, you will understand what a database is, be able to create one using 2 different methods, design and build your first table, and get familiar with the most essential data types. Before we create one, what exactly is a database? Think of it as a digital filing cabinet. It's not the data itself, but rather the container that holds and organizes everything, your tables, views, procedures, and more. It provides structure and security for all the related data you want to store. All right, let's jump into SQL Server Management Studio. The graphical user interface, or GUI, makes our first task very straightforward. We'll simply right-click on the Databases folder, select New Database, and give it a name. It's that easy. Now, watch as I demonstrate this. I'm opening Management Studio. I find the Databases folder in the Object Explorer on the left. I'll right-click it, choose New Database. A dialog box appears. For the database name, I'll type Bookstore_GUI. I'll leave the other options at their defaults for now and click OK. And there it is. Our database appears in the list. While the GUI is great for quick tasks, professionals almost always use scripts. Writing T-SQL code is repeatable, source controllable, and much faster for complex setups. The command is simple and intuitive. Create database, followed by the name you want to give it. Let's do the same thing, but with code. I'll open a new query window by clicking the New Query button. I'll type the command, Create Database Bookstore. Then I'll execute it by pressing F5 or clicking the Execute button. The command completes successfully. If I right-click the Databases folder and hit Refresh, you'll see our new Bookstore database is now listed. Now that we have our container, we need to build the shelves inside it. That's what tables are. A table is the primary object where you store your actual data, organized into a grid of rows and columns, just like a spreadsheet. Before we write any code, we must plan. What information do we need to store about a book? We'll need a unique identifier, its title, the author's name, and when it was published. We'll call these columns ISBN, title, author, and publication date. Next, we must tell SQL Server what kind of data each column will hold. This is crucial for efficiency and data integrity. For today, we'll focus on 3 of the most common types: int for whole numbers, VARCHAR for variable length text, and DATETIME for dates and times. A very common mistake for beginners is using a text-based type like VARCHAR or NVARCHAR to store data that is purely numeric, like a quantity or an ID. This is inefficient. The rule is simple. If you won't perform text-based operations on it, and it's a number, use a numeric type like int. Always choose the most specific and efficient data type for your data. Every well-designed table needs a primary key. This is a column or set of columns that uniquely identifies every single row in the table. No 2 rows can have the same primary key value, and it cannot be empty. For our books table, the ISBN is a perfect natural primary key. Now let's put it all together with the create table statement. The syntax involves defining the table name and then within parentheses listing each column name followed by its data type. We'll also specify which column is our primary key. Okay, back in Management Studio. First, it's critical to ensure we are working inside our Bookstore database. I can select it from the drop-down here or write the Use Bookstore command. Now I'll write the script. Create table books, open parenthesis, ISBN VARCHAR 13, primary key, title VARCHAR 200, author VARCHAR 100, and publication date DATETIME, close parenthesis. I'll execute this. Commands completed successfully. If we expand our Bookstore database, Then, the Tables folder, we can see our new dbo.books table. Now it's your turn to solidify these skills. I want you to perform the exact steps we just did. First, create a brand new database called Bookstore. Then, using a T-SQL script, create the books table inside it, with the specified columns and data types. Pause the video here and give it a try. What we've done today is exactly how new software projects begin. Whether you're building an inventory system for a warehouse, a tracking system for a clinic, or a customer list for a marketing firm, the first step is always to define and create the database and tables that will form the backbone of the application's data storage. Excellent work today. We've covered some fundamental ground. We learned that a database is a container. We saw how to create one using both the Management Studio GUI and the professional T-SQL script method. We then designed and built our very first table, carefully selecting data types and defining a primary key to ensure data integrity. You've built the structure, and in our next lesson, we'll learn how to populate it. We'll dive into the insert statement to add data to our tables, and then learn the most powerful command in all of SQL, the select statement, to retrieve and view that data. Thank you for your attention. I'm Jarvis, and I'll see you in the next session.